I remembered, and it's important to me, so I'm going to record it. This is part 3 now of day 25, and so I was diagnosed with hepatitis C about, I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that. And at the time, it is considered a life-threatening illness. They compare it very much to AIDS in that it's a smart virus that, yeah, it's smart, it's difficult to cure, and it will lead to death. And at the time, there was only one medication for it. You have to take like weekly shots, and it made a lot of people depressed or suicidal. and and I've always been similar to the way I am now, which means like I've never been into conventional medicine much. I've always felt like I was pretty healthy. So it came as a shock and a surprise. But I don't know. I was like pretty optimistic. I wasn't that worried about it. I thought, oh, I'll just take this medicine and, see what happens. But then I had an experience where I almost died in the hospital when they were doing a biopsy just to check whether or not, just to check the state of my liver. They check it in the beginning, and they check it 3 months from that time to see if the medicine's working. Because if it's not working, why keep taking something that feels like shit? So I had the procedure done, and then something went wrong. Something that was like a 0.001% chance of happening, like, went wrong, and I almost died. And that didn't even that, I was like, mistakes happen. I was actually just really happy to stop being in pain when the pain stopped. But it was how the medical community handled it. It was like my second experience with how the medical system is a business. I got into a car accident a few years before that, and I realized then how much money is distorting everything in our culture. And so so when I saw that, I was like, okay, I can't be any part of this system. I can't be any part of the system that I don't trust. So then I started looking very avidly at alternative systems, and that's kind of part of the path that brought me to where I am today. So anyway, so I ended up kind of going on this spiritual journey. I did have some kind of alternative treatment. It's called ozone therapy. And ozone therapy, in combination with this like emotional inner work that I was doing, ended up bringing my viral count way down. It never disappeared, but I considered it cured, because really we all have viruses in our system. We just don't always have names for them. And just like right now, I apparently have a herniated disc in my back, and I shouldn't even be able to walk. I should be in constant pain, but I'm completely fine. I feel it, but yeah, it's like we don't know what's actually going on in our bodies until we have a reason to have them looked at and diagnosed, and then we have labels for certain things, and more things are happening that people do not understand, which is helping people look for different avenues. So anyway, in my case, I didn't think of myself as diseased, and I actually stopped paying for insurance, because I just felt like I have enough friends who are healers, and if something went wrong, I don't know, I would figure it out. But then I decided to get insurance again, because I started thinking about my family, and like, if something really went wrong and it looked like I needed some kind of conventional medicine, that, it might hurt my whole family, because they would pay for it if I couldn't, probably, if I was in dire straits, and I wouldn't want that to hurt them. So anyway, then I got insurance, and then these new drugs came out for Hep C that were like supposedly had like a 98% cure rate. Very expensive, but I was able to get them and I was on Obamacare. So that the timing of it was really magical, yeah. I never thought I'd benefit from like a government thing like that. So that was great. And anyway, it was very hard to get the medicine approved for, because the insurance companies don't want to pay for it. So they kept denying me for like about a year and a half or 2 years. Then I took the medicine, and I was very scared, because the version that I took, there are different kinds of medicine for different strains of Hep C, and the kind I took still had an element of that older medicine that can make people depressed and have all these side effects. Anyway, I took it for 6 months. I did have some side effects. It wasn't horrible. I was really grateful to have the medicine. Because the point is, I wasn't walking around thinking I'm diseased, but there's always a part of me that, I wasn't completely in la la land about it. I would get my body checked every 2 years just to make sure the levels were okay. And the viral level had gone up, like the last time I had checked before starting this medicine. And, viruses go in like cycles. So I wasn't too worried, but it doesn't feel good, when you see like this demonstration that like your body's not in balance, So anyway, I was, happy. If there wasn't this drug out there, I probably wouldn't have, I just maybe would have gotten some more ozone treatments and kind of kept watching it. But if there is a physical thing that says this is going to take care of this completely, why not do it, right? So anyway, I finished taking the medication on January 1st of this year, as it so happened, which is interesting. And I was supposed to my viral count went down to 0, so it worked. But the real test of it working is if you get tested between 3 and 6 months after you're no longer taking the medication. And if your viral count is 0, then you're considered cured. And today is April 1st, so it's been 3 full months since I stopped taking the medication, and I happened to get my blood work done today. I've been meaning to do it for weeks, and I just happened to get it done today. So that is also this kind of thing with like, I don't know, I guess living in reality. Like there's a part of me that's like, I shouldn't have needed to take that medication. If I was clear enough and I had enough faith, my body, doesn't need anything. But I'm probably not there yet. I'm still, there's parts of me that are dense, and so it would be nice to have a piece of paper that said, you're cured. Yeah. And then the other part that I had forgotten about that I wanted to say was this thing about loss. So it's not just loss that I'm afraid of in the sense of, losing love. It's loss in the sense of failure. It's like if I'm not in the game, if I'm just on the sidelines, I can like cheer and I can be part of it, but I don't have to risk losing, And I also, of course, don't get to win. And I feel like that's this whole thing with like the career and the money and being full out. It's like, oh right, that means I could actually fail. I can't be this person who has like so much potential, and I'm going to be this person who succeeds or fails. And of course this is like, an unconscious thing that I'm making more conscious. It's like, I'm failing. I'm failing by not playing. I'm already failing myself. I mean, I'm so tired of this in-between state, this like back and forth between being like, I'm going to express myself, and then, oh, no, I'm going to get scared, or I'm going to please people, but nope, not all the way, because then I get resentful. It's like, again, if you're going to lose yourself, lose yourself in service, let yourself like surrender to love, get completely fucked up on drugs and like, just go all the way with something and get lost and fuck up, die. Or be really healthy, like stay consistent with something, be alone, be self-sufficient, be completely a freak and not be accepted by anyone, but go all the way. And again, in doing that, I will see that it's one thing. It's not going to stop. There's no end point. It's not going to be like, okay, now I've succeeded, I've made the money, and I'm in the game and I've won, That's not going to be the end, There's just going to be another fucking game. There's going to be another wave. There's going to be another relationship. There's going to be another place to move to, And of all people, I should know this because I keep moving and changing. But I think I have changed and transformed, but not all the way. Because I think if I go all the way, then the transformation would somehow stop. I wouldn't be in this place of pure possibility. And again, the idea of like bringing heaven and earth together is seeing that even if I kind of come down from the clouds, infinite possibility would come with me, you know? That I can bring freedom and infinite possibility into whatever relationship, whatever career, you know, whatever circumstance I'm in, because that's who I am. Yeah, because that's who I am.